Hello all, welcome to today's lecture on the physical layer. In today's video, we will cover all the questions from your MCQ test which are based on the physical layer, so pay attention and take notes. Starting off with our OSI model, as you can see here we have two devices. This is a sender and this is a receiver. Both of them will have the 7 layers of the OSI model. The data will start from this layer, application layer. It will pass along all these layers till it reaches the physical layer on the sender side. Then it will be transmitted along this transmission media till it reaches the physical layer at the receiver side, and from there it will be delivered to the application layer on the receiver side. So ये transmission media क्या होता है? It is the physical path in between the transmitter and the receiver. So अगर ये हमारा sender है और ये हमारा receiver है, इन दोनों के बीच में जो आप ये path देख रहे हैं which is denoted by this white arrow, it represents your transmission media. Transmission media is categorized into guided and unguided. Guided मतलब wired media and unguided मतलब wireless media. So अगर आपके ट्रांसमिशन मीडिया एज अ ट्रांसमिशन मीडिया अगर आप एक एक्चुअल वायर यूज कर रहे हो विच इज कैरिंग योर डेटा फ्रॉम योर सेंडर टू योर रिसीवर, दैट मीन्स यू आर यूजिंग अ वायर्ड मीडिया और अ गाइडेड मीडिया. लेकिन अगर आप एयर मीडियम से अपना डेटा सेंड और रिसीव कर रहे हैं विदाउट एनी फिजिकल वायर, तो दैट मीन्स यू आर यूजिंग अनगाइडेड मीडिया. तो वायर्ड मीडिया मतलब एक फिजिकल path in between the sender and the receiver, and unguided media matlab air in between the sender and the receiver. So if you want, you can remember it like guided media matlab wire and unguided media matlab wireless. So guided media is further of 3 types. It could be a copper twisted pair, a copper coaxial cable, or an optical fiber cable. So as you can see here, if you concentrate on this part, तो आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं कि एक white and एक blue wire को हमने twist किया है. So hence the name is twisted pair. और इनके अंदर जो conductor है वो है copper conductor. Hence the name is copper twisted pair. In case of copper coaxial cable, you have this cable which is of metal, copper metal, and along this cable you have an insulator. After this insulator you have a conductor which is again followed by an insulator. So this is your copper metal wire which is coated in insulator. Insulator के बाद आता है conductor और conductor के बाद वापस आता है insulator. So आपका actual signal is going to be carried along this copper wire. The name is copper coaxial cable क्योंकि the conductor and the copper wire share a common x-axis. This is your x-axis. Hence the name is coaxial because x-axis is common in between the copper wire and the conductor. In case of optical fiber cable, the thing that you see here, it is actually a glass rod. So it is actually made up of glass, and the signals that you will pass along this glass are going to be light signals. So when you pass a light signal through a glass, as soon as it reaches the wall of the glass, it will be reflected back. It will reach this wall here, it will be reflected back again, and so on. In this way, it will propagate through the glass and reach the destination. So when a user wants to send an electric signal, he will be using either a copper twisted pair or a copper coaxial cable. But if the sender wants to send light signal, in that case he will make use of a optical fiber cable. In unguided media, as we have seen previously, the medium of communication is going to be air. There is no direct physical contact in between the sender and the receiver. Instead, data will travel through air. So when data is traveling through air, it can either make use of infrared waves. जैसे आपके टीवी और आपके रिमोट में जो कनेक्शन होता है, it is done with the help of infrared waves. So if you are pointing your remote towards your TV and if you are pressing or changing the channels, that means you are making use of infrared waves. आप जब सेल फोन यूज करते हैं तब आप कम्युनिकेशन के लिए रेडियो वेव्स यूज करते हैं. जब अर्थ के अराउंड सैटेलाइट रोटेट करते हैं और वो पिक्चर्स कैप्चर करते हैं, देन दैट मीन्स वी आर यूजिंग सैटेलाइट मीन्स ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन. एंड द कम्युनिकेशन बिटवीन योर टॉवर्स, दैट मीन्स योर सेल फोन टॉवर्स, इज डन वाया माइक्रोवेव्स. तो अगर आप इन चारों में से कोई ऑप्शन यूज कर रहे हैं, दैट मीन्स यू आर मेकिंग यूज ऑफ अनगाइडेड मीडिया. Now what is multiplexing? In case of multiplexing, what we have between the sender and the receiver is a common channel, and all the senders and all the receivers are going to be connected to your common channel. On the sender side we have a mux which will have many inputs and a single output, and on the receiver side we have a demux which will have a single input and multiple outputs. So when users want to send their data across a communication channel, the mux will perform addition of data. So suppose these are my three signals. After they pass to the mux, they will be combined into a signal which will look like this. So this is the addition of signal 1, signal 2 and signal 3. Once this signal reaches the receiver side, it will be the job of the demultiplexer to now separate these signals. So now this signal is going to be transmitted here, this signal is going to be transmitted here, and the third signal is going to be transmitted here. So demultiplexer is going to perform the subtraction and the multiplexer is going to perform the addition. There are three types of multiplexing techniques: frequency division, wavelength division, time division, and time division is further divided into synchronous as well as asynchronous. So quickly let us see how frequency division multiplexing works. Communication channel को हम divide करते हैं into multiple bands. So for example, अगर मेरे total communication का bandwidth है 150 हर्ट्ज, तो इसको मैंने 3 चैनल्स में डिवाइड किया है और एवरी चैनल विल बी एलोकेटेड 50 हर्ट्ज. Now when user 1 wants to send any signal, he will be allocated the first channel. मतलब अब उसके पास कितने हर्ट्ज हैं? आउट ऑफ 150 हर्ट्ज यूजर 1 is allocated 50 hertz. Similarly, user 2 is allocated 50 hertz and user 3 is allocated 50 hertz. So each of them will send their signal using their allocated 50 hertz. And this communication channel is going to carry the combination of all these three signals in a common way till it reaches the demultiplexer. So as you can see here, the signal of user 1 is of 30 hertz and it will be transmitted along this channel of 50 hertz. In time division multiplexing, our communication channel is divided into time slots. So these are the time slots in which I will be dividing my communication channel. And when a user wants to send a data, suppose now user wants to send these two packets, packet 1 and packet 2. So this packet will be transmitted in the first time slot. Then user 2, suppose this is user B now. So user B's data will be transmitted in the second time slot. User C's data will be transmitted in the third time slot. And user D's data will be transmitted in the fourth time slot. इसके बाद अब अगर वापस user A को कुछ send करना है, then it will utilize its own time slot and send the data. This is how time division multiplexing works. So अगर यहाँ पे पूरा communication channel का bandwidth है 150 Hz, तो user A को मिलेगा पूरा 150 Hz but only for some limited amount of time. तो यहाँ पे time के ऊपर limitation है, frequency और bandwidth के ऊपर कोई limitation नहीं है. Previous case में क्या था? इवन दो हमारे पास 150 हर्ट्ज था, फिर भी उसमें से हम सिर्फ 50 हर्ट्ज ही यूज कर सकते थे, क्योंकि बाकी 50 हर्ट्ज और ये 50 हर्ट्ज हमारे पास नहीं था। बट यहाँ पे पूरा 150 हर्ट्ज मुझे मिलेगा कम्युनिकेशन के लिए, लेकिन मेरा टाइम इज गोइंग टू बी अ वेरी स्मॉल स्लॉट। In the third case of wavelength division multiplexing, suppose if you want to send a light signal, then you will use wavelength division multiplexing. Because it is a light signal, the communication cable that you will be using is going to be an optical fiber cable, because it is going to carry a light signal. And light signals, if you want to measure light signals, then the unit of measurement is lambda. Hence we can see here that we have 3 transmitters. Each transmitter can carry a wavelength of lambda 1, lambda 2 and lambda 3. Each of them will use their respective channels for sending and receiving data. Next technique is called as spread the spectrum. So in spread spectrum technique, whatever bandwidth is given to you, suppose the bandwidth is B, you are going to multiply that bandwidth with a spreading code, and the result that you get will look something like this. So I want you to comment down below and tell me the relation between B and BSS. Tell me whether BSS is equal to B, BSS is less than B, or BSS is greater than B, looking at this diagram. So comment down below your answer. यहाँ पे हमने क्या किया है, B का मल्टीप्लिकेशन किया है एक स्प्रेडिंग कोड के साथ, and this is the result that I get, and this is the bandwidth of my result. तो आपको मुझे बताना है कि ये बैंडविड्थ से बड़ा है, छोटा है कि इक्वल है. There are 2 types of spread spectrum techniques, frequency hopping and direct sequence hopping. So in the first technique, we are calling it as a frequency hopping technique. इसका मतलब है frequency will be hopping. So if I consider this diagram here, this is my time and these are the different frequencies given to me, F1 to F8. My signal initially in the first time slot, if suppose here I have my first time slot, this is my second time slot, this is my third time slot, and this is my fourth time slot. So here in the first time slot, my signal will use frequency Fy, then it will hop or it will jump to the next frequency. So यहाँ पे in the second time slot, my frequency is jumping to F8. In the next time slot, my frequency is jumping to F3. So as you can see here, in every time slot, the frequency changes. In the first time slot, it is F5. In the second time slot, it is F8. In the next time slot, it is F3, and so on. So because in every time slot, we are utilizing a different frequency, so our signal is jumping from one frequency to other, and hence the name is frequency hopping spread spectrum. Whereas in case of direct sequence spread spectrum, all you have to do is multiply your signal with a special code which is called as a chipping code. This chipping code looks like this. It is going to be unique for every station or every host. All you have to do is you have to multiply the signal that you want to transmit with this spreading code, and this is your result. So यहाँ पे direct sequence spread spectrum में you have a special value called as a chipping code, जिसका multiplication करेंगे हम हमारे original signal के साथ. So this spreading code is my chipping code. Original signal जो मुझे send करना है, उन दोनों का multiplication करके जो मुझे यहाँ पे value मिलेगा, that is going to be my spread spectrum. With this we come to the end of your physical layer. Good luck for your exam. Have a good day.